You're listening to India Bio Speaks, your one-stop resource for science, news, and careers. Hello and welcome to another episode of Crafting Your Career in Science. In this series of episodes, we're continuing to talk to various science professionals to get their personal and professional insights on how they navigated their career paths. So, an informational interview today, we have with us Lipika Sahoo. Lipika has 18 years of experience in academia and industry in the areas of technology, innovation, and intellectual property. She has her PhD from the Indian Institute of Science in microbiology and cell biology. She holds a triple master's, MSc from Sambalpur University, Odisha, PGDIPR from National Law School of India, University in Bangalore, PGCBM from Xavier Institute of Management in Bhubaneswar, and also an advanced certification from World Intellectual Property Organization, WIPO. She's an alumnus of the Indian Institute of Management, Bangalore, and she's a registered Indian Patent and Trademark agent. She's passionate about technology and innovation, and the founder and the CEO of Life Intellect Consultancy Private Limited, helping scientists and business owners protect their ideas by enabling the generation of valuable intellectual property, be it an innovation, invention, a design, a product, an idea, or a business process. Hello, Lipika. Thank you for joining us today.
Hello, Rashmi. Thank you so much for inviting me to this podcast. It's a pleasure to be here in this beautiful NCBS campus with IndiaBioscience team.
Great. Lipika, I have heard you describe your career many times as a long, winding path. Can you tell us a bit about this journey and what brought you to this role?
A bit about my journey. In 2006, I completed my PhD at Indian Institute of Science. After completing my colloquium, I got a job offer from Novozymes, the Danish biotech company. They were setting up the first R&D in Bangalore. So after my interview, got selected and was the first scientist joined at R&D Novozymes in Bangalore. And during the process, my corporate career started. During the process, I had to go to Copenhagen, Denmark, Novozymes headquarters, to start the new project and get the project India to continue that work. So during the graduate students, we were more focused in creating and doing the research. But whereas in a company, culture is like whatever research they do, the primary focus is getting some valuable IP so that they can bring it to the market. So that was my first interaction with the world of IP and exposure to the intellectual property rights related work, which was really interesting for me. And when I came back to Bangalore after my stay in Copenhagen, I was continued with the wet lab research for some time. After a couple of years, I was more interested into the world of IP. So that is the time I quit my job and then I did a National Law School, Bangalore patent law course. And then I was also interested in learning about management and things related to that, which I wanted to do before my PhD. So that was the opportunity that I continue my management studies from Xavier Institute of Management. And after that, I had the option of going back to job and start working either as a patent professional or as a research scientist. But then I thought maybe starting a company where I would have the opportunity to do the research, understand the research work by the scientists and the inventors, and helping them to get their ideas to the market would be interesting.
So, Lipika, why did you ultimately choose a career in the intellectual property space?
Yeah, as I already mentioned that I found the world of IP is very fascinating. And IP is basically an exclusive right related to creation of mind. It could be an invention, literary work, artistic work, or like it's basically a monopoly assigned to a designated owner by the state. So now while working in IP profession, so you have the opportunity to work with great professors, scientists, writers, painters, artists, established companies, startups, or research institutes. And also, you have the option of working on different kinds of products and services. It could be a technology related to cancer drugs, to blockchain, to computer vision, to drone technology. So this is always very interesting to work with different kinds of project, and it's always that you are working with different kinds of innovative ideas, and also at the same time helping companies, individuals to get their ideas into real world.
So, Lipika, what are the roles and responsibility for an IP professional?
The typical IP professional job could be doing IP search, drafting, filing a patent application, handling office actions, maintaining maintenance of the IP, drafting of agreements, doing due diligence. So basically, understanding different complex to simple technologies and advising the inventors and suggesting adequate protection within that budget.
So, Lipika, can you describe a typical workday?
Yeah, Lakshmi, it's one thing what I can say is it's not a typical 9 to 5 job. There is no typical workday. It varies from day to day. It depends on the kind of work that we have planned for that particular day. It could be discussing with clients, client consultation. Typically, morning starts with responding to client mails, planning, delegating work. It could be reviewing and drafting applications, then coordinating with foreign counsels for foreign filings, and also sometimes speaking engagements.
Lipika, I would like to know, what is it that you enjoy most about what you do?
Yeah, Lakshmi, the most that I like is basically the analysis part, strategic inputs that we give to the client, and helping clients to grow their business by protecting their ideas through patents, trademarks, or design. And one thing is, you feel happy when you get a patent granted or you register a design or trademark. Basically, the value that we are adding to the ecosystem, that is the thing that we enjoy most.
So, Lipika, what would you say are the main challenges in this field?
The most important thing is time, because most of the activities in IP arena is time bound, and within that time we have to get the information, draft it, file it within the deadlines. So that is one of the challenge that we always face. And the second is changing dynamics of IP law, because depending on the case law, the IP laws changes in your own country, in other country. So if you are filing in some foreign country, you have to be well versed and aware with the changes. So that is one of the things that we have to keep yourself reading and updating. And next is getting resources, like with necessary knowledge and skill. So that is one of the biggest challenge, I would say.
Lipika, for a graduate who is looking to enter this space, what kinds of skills and accomplishments tend to be valued or rewarded?
Yeah, Lakshmi, here most of these IP documents, like you say patent documents, are techno-legal documents, where the person working here should have a good command over language, they should have a good analytical skills, good communication, and they should have a mastery over the subject matter. They should be able to clearly understand the ideas and business of the client. Then they should be able to delegate the work when necessary, and should be able to work in a team, because you might be drafting, somebody else will be drawing the figures. So you should be able to work in a coherent manner.
So, Lipika, the skills that you mentioned, how does one gain these skills?
Reading a variety of topics, like practice listening, asking relevant questions, and continue educating yourself, which is very, very important, and building a foundation of knowledge. Like you should have ability to understand different kinds of concept, and you might be expert in one subject, but you should have you should develop interest in a variety of subject, because most of the patent application that we file, this is basically a product or process like ready for market. So you might be a biologist, but you might your invention might have a software, you might have a mechanical element. So though you are a biologist, but you should be able to understand the concept of mechanical engineering or the software design part of it. So that's how understanding a interrelated subject is very important.
Lipika, what kind of training opportunities exist for a graduate student who's planning to enter this field?
Yeah, for the science graduate, what I can say is if you want to be a patent professional, you should have a graduate degree in science. That could be your BSc, MSc, MTech, up to PhD. And if you have the science degree and a understanding of the patent aspect, you can start drafting, analyzing the reports, and do a patent search. But if you have to qualify a patent agent exam to represent a client and file the patent on their behalf. So as experience, you can start working as freelancer or doing intern job in law firm. So that will give you a real world exposure to understand how the world of IP looks like, whether you really like it or it just look good on pen and paper. So that's very important to have a first hand exposure to this kind of projects. And if you want to train yourself with IP related knowledge, there are a lot of online courses available from World Intellectual Property Rights WIPO programs. You can log in and check out the different kinds of programs available. There are lots of distance learning courses available, like from NLSIU and other institute. Also, there are classroom programs for patent drafting, patent valuation, technology transfer. So special programs like this also available. That also you may have to go through and look at whatever interests you.
Thanks, Lipika. In the description section of this podcast, you can find a list of many opportunities that you can look up on how you can train yourself. Lipika, can you tell us what the present job market is like? What kind of opportunities can one look forward to in the IP space?
Now, the job prospects are there both at global and national level. The industry is exponentially growing. Like there are outsourced job from global market, like patent docketing, patent search, and paralegal work. Growth is easy. The salary is also good, but to get your first initial job with having necessary skills and experience may be a little challenging because everybody would like to have you like IP related knowledge and some expertise before they hire you. So that is where you should have some interns job, some projects that you would have done on IP related. It will help you to get your first job. Now, India is becoming a hub for startups and R&D centers for many multinationals. So, numerous funding options are also available from governments and private sectors. So, now also there are fast-track patent examination for the patents filed by many startups. Now, more and more companies are filing patents and creating many valuable IPs. So, what I think is the job market for IP professional looks quite promising.
Lipika, the number of opportunities in this space is great, and it's refreshing to know that India is becoming a fertile ground for new ideas and innovation. And there's so much support from the government and the private sectors to nurture innovations. On that note, Lipika, are there any do's and don'ts in this field that one should keep in mind?
Yeah, Lashmi, as I already mentioned, it's better to have a real world experience. Now, next thing is if you want to take a career choice from the hardcore science to IP, you should start small. Like you can start doing online courses on topics like which of interest to you, and then you can do a small internship before you plan any big investment of your time and energy by doing a full-time, say LLB or LLM course.
Thank you, Lipika. Finally, are there any messages or words of career wisdom that you would like to leave our listeners with today?
Yeah, Lakshmi, as I already mentioned, IP is a high intensive and lots of deadline based career. So it'll be very nice if you have a creative hobby like, say, dancing, music, or painting. Basically, a career choice is partly intellectual and partly your intuitive calling. So a great career, what I would say, is a confluence of your skills, your interests, and most importantly, your passion should match. So if you want a career in technology, law, patent, innovation, dealing with lots of people and training people, I would say IP is a great fit and a challenging career option.
Thank you, Lipika, for letting us take a peek into your career journey and for taking the time to share such valuable information and knowledge. To all our listeners, thank you for listening. Do check out the description section of this podcast, where you can find some relevant links to the resources that Lipika shared with us today. Until next time, when we will hear the life story of another accomplished science professional, keep enjoying your science and keep your mind open and keep looking for opportunities to learn and grow. And of course, do keep listening to Crafting Your Career in Science. If you're passionate about scientific research, communication, outreach, and science education as we are, please connect and engage with us, and here are some ways that you can do so.
Visit our website at www.indiabioscience.org.
Subscribe to our newsletters.
Write for us and join our online discussion forum at discuss.indiabioscience.org.
Advertise jobs, grants and events in the life sciences on our website.
And feel free to contact us anytime at hello@indiabioscience.org.
Until next time, enjoy your science and stay engaged to enable change.